Real quick, this is pretty easy. This patch is mostly AD carries. I just skimmed through it. This is my first impressions, blah blah. Jungle timer is finally here. We've been hearing about it. Maybe I should get the chat on the right, just in case I missed something. There it is. No, I'll just unsub it for now. Anyway, so obviously you can only get the timer if you see them clear it exactly. So, like, you still have to time. Like, if you're good and you're not bad, like, you'll still time it when you assume they do it. Like, for instance, if I start blue and the enemy starts red, it's not gonna give me a red timer unless I have a ward on there red. So I'm still gonna have to type that down. Like, lazy people or people who never timed, which is probably like 90% of the population, simply won't do it. But it's good to keep in mind. Like, so if you see like an enemy at 7 minutes run towards the red and you don't have vision on it, you can just easily time it like 7:20, 7:30, whatever, when they do it. So you should always do that because it won't give you the timer. It only gives you if you see it cleared or you snipe it without vision, as in the last hit the camp. Blah blah. So I mean, I'm assuming they're doing this because of the increased use of third-party add-ons, whatever. They've been doing it, so I'm assuming to prevent people, or like either everyone gets it or nobody gets it. So they're probably doing that because they can't really stop people from doing it. Blah blah. Ari, what the hell? Yeah, Ari's assassins are just in a hard place. Like, when you face Lulu, it's like annoying, but let's see mid lane. Would she face? I don't know, she's very risky. Like, Assassin meta was Season 3, it was really fun. Of course, it wasn't fun for AD carries, but it was pretty fun for mid lane and jungle, because they just can't mid and get kills, easy kills, so I don't really know how this will factor. Not much. Poor jungle Alistar. They just don't want him to jungle anymore. It's like, screw you, Alistar, go home. It's like, okay. He's actually really hard to play. I think the reason why he's not played much or he doesn't have a high win percentage is because he's actually hard. Like, it's actually hard to get perfect combos every time. Like, there's a difference between hitting the combo, the WQ, and hitting it perfectly. Like, yeah, like you can actually extend the stun technically by allowing them to be headbutted slightly further when you pulverize. Like, I've seen some people pulverize instantly the moment they headbutt, but then you miss out on the headbutt stun duration. But he has been played in LCS actually by certain supports. Obviously it buffs him, but I think he might be really strong in the right hands. I'm trying to remember this. I think that means you can technically cleanse it earlier, if that's correct. I don't know what it means by matches with visuals. Because knockups you can't cleanse or QSS, you just get knocked up and you're stuck. But if it's a stun, then you can easily remove it out. Let's see. Blah blah. Oh yeah, this bug was so stupid. Yeah, it's screwed. Like it ruined like your Kate CS. Like even I noticed it, and I don't play AD carry. Like your attacks would hit before the animation, so it would completely screw up your last hit under tower. Like say you're about to try to hit it before or right after a tower shot, and your shot goes off instantly, then it might screw up the last hit. This one's hella troll. So apparently you can E into your own W. That's hella troll. Like, I mean, they're like, I guess it'll separate the good Ezreal players from the great ones, but we'll probably see an influx of Ezreals committing suicide because they use their only escape just to get a little bit of attack speed. It is an interesting change. I think if you play a really good Ezreal, I think you can actually abuse that really well. Like if you walk in the zone in a duel, you can actually get a steroid off your own W. Think of the skill. Think of the skill. Garen still sucks. I don't give a shit. Garen's one of those champions that just his skill set, he just gets kited. Like he's like Darius, but I think Darius is still better. Yeah, Darius is still better. At least Darius. I don't know. It's just like if there was a competition for one of the worst champions in the game, Garen would probably be in the bottom 10. Like, or I mean like I was asking chat like who's the worst champion in the game, and Garen came up a few times. Gangplank came a few times, but he's probably in the running. Like obviously, a champ's good. Every champion's good at something, but some champs are only good at a few things, and that's probably where Garen is. So he's probably gonna need something different. I hate casting. So this is a huge nerf because, okay, obviously to W, but this one's a big one. So even though they buffed the slow duration, what this means is, let's say casting jumps on you, slows you. What are you going to do in that 1 second, or 0.75 if you have mercs or something, I think? Or is it 0.65? 65. You're going to stand, you're not going to move anyway. You're not going to move that far. So you're mostly going to cast your spells, your payload, and then you start running. And by the time you finish your rotation of spells on Kassadin, then you can move back, and the slow is already over. So before, you'd use your rotation of spells, but you'd still be slowed for 2 seconds, so you'd be pretty screwed. But now it's like, this slow, you probably won't notice it much, like unless you're only running, but because most people will usually just do as much damage to Kassadin as they can while running, because why would you run with 90% slow or 80%? So pretty big nerf for him, thank God. I hate Kassadin. Yeah, so this is obviously a buff, because I thought Q was terrible. Like, no one's playing Kha'Zix now, because the isolation's harder to get off, and the base damage of Q was nerfed by 25% last patch, or a couple patches ago. It just made him terrible, because it was really hard to isolate people. So this spell did horrific damage if they were not isolated. So that's why they're buffing it by 15 damage per level, it looks like, yeah. So early levels, that's a huge buff. 15 damage when your spell does 55 or 80 is pretty big. Quite a big buff early game, but I still think he has problems, honestly. I actually don't know what to say with this. I'm pretty sure this will shit on him. Like, it is a weird change, making his range really low. Maybe I should look up range of 80 carries. Shit, there must be a 80 carry range chart. This was made July 17th. How many 80 carries have been made since? Maybe Jinx? Oh, Lucian was on it. So only Jinx would not be on this page if I'm correct. Wait, I got a cool chart that's from July 13th. Let's see. I said, let's see. Where would old... Let's see, 5... Holy shit. That is actually horrific. Holy crap. Yeah. That is pretty bad. That's a pretty huge nerf. Like, I don't play AD carry. I'm pretty sure he's getting screwed. Like, damn, that puts him... that puts him pretty damn low. So, like, you're just gonna get dumped on late game, I feel. And in lane against certain champions like Kate, you're just gonna get outgunned. I see. I pay attention to the fans. Yeah, so 500 is pretty bad. Like, Graves is already in a bad spot, and then 500 is pretty bad. Yeah, holy shit. Because you have to look at it proportionally. That's 10% of your range just get knocked off. That's the point of 80 carry, so damn, that's pretty big. And then it also affects his Q, doesn't it? Let me see. His Q is now, yeah, his Q cast range is low too. So he's just going to get poked a couple of times every time he walks up. Like, it's almost guaranteed the enemy AD carry get 1 extra hit every time he walks up to do anything because his range is just lower. Alright, now it still sucks. Like, Nihilus's damage is low, his CC gets better as the game goes on, but early game it's just trash. His armor, base armor is pretty bad. I think at level 18 he doesn't have that much armor, or does he? I think somewhere he has low armor, and obviously his move speed's still 325. Like, in a game where all the melees move at like 340ish or more, like 325 is inexcusable. Like, Nihilus is just sluggish. I'd rather play Maokai in every scenario, and he loses to the standard duelist jungles anyway. Like, Maokai is the only hope for the tank jungles right now. Like, Maokai is the only one that's, like, I feel that is way above everyone else. Like, everyone still plays outer lizard jungles like Vi, Pantheon, all the tier 2s, Nocturne. Who else am I missing? Ringo. So basically, most tank jungles just suck, aside from, like, Maokai. Like, Zac is okay, but Maokai is the only one that I'd say is, like, in the top 6 of jungle champions. Everyone else is not even close. Who gives a shit? It's Quinn. Okay, that's cool. I guess that's cool. I mean, I guess. That's cool. People who care. Nobody. He's proccing Madrid's razors twice. I see. Wow, that's pretty broken. They still need to fix the tooltip on Q, because it's not supposed to give attack speed. It doesn't say it gives attack speed on the non-ferocity one, but it does anyway. And then obviously the ferocity one does give Q, so that's fine. I think that's about almost it. Oh yeah, BT. So it gives more lifesteal, blah blah, but you can't stack BTs like a moron anymore. I don't think it'll change anything. It's just there's so many items for AD carries to get. Like, it's really hard to fit BT in there unless it's like fourth or fifth item. It's really hard to get that many items. By that time, you probably have Last Whisper, Blade of the Rune King, Infinity Edge. That's 3. Your boots. That's 4. Maybe a defensive item if the enemy has stuff, and then maybe you could have BT, but unlikely. Or no, you might have a Phantom Dancer. Yeah, what am I talking about? You might have a Phantom Dancer there too. So I don't know. Depends on your champion, or a Triforce. Depends what champion you are, but Triforce is popular. So I don't think BT will see that much use. Like maybe as a 5th item, but that's a lot. That's a long time away. I saw this buff. Hey, they're trying to make it like it's just not gonna work. Like I don't think this is just dumb. It's just dumb. I don't know. Like by the time you have 3,400 gold, you are not fucking wasting that much mana, or at least you're killing them so fast. I don't know. It's just a silly item because by the time you have 3,400 gold, I hope you can solve your mana problems. Like if you look at it from a mage perspective, how do they solve their mana problems? 700 gold, they have a tier at 700 gold. Or they have Chalice, that's 880, right? Chalice, 880. And then it eventually builds into something really good. Like, since Reaver does not give the passive until you complete the item 3,400 gold later, it's like, I don't need the mana anymore. Like, it'd be better if there was a small item that gave AD and gave mana regen, like hyper mana regen or something. And then it would upgrade into this, but as it stands, it's like, by the time you get this, it's like, who cares about your mana problem? Like, the lane phase is, the enemy's going to have IE or some shit on you. He's going to have IE or Bladed Rune King, and he's going to kick your ass. So, it's pretty troll. Like, the enemy's going to have, yeah, almost a Triforce at that rate. Like, you'll have, like, maybe 2 minutes of being slightly stronger, then you're getting your ass kicked. Okay, I know it's Jace. I mean, fuck. Like, you guys overvalue the mana passive. Like, no one really gives a shit. It's a good early game. It's like, you spend 3,400. You're not... you're gimping your, like, late game if you go to Saddam. I don't know, because it's so pricey to solve your mana problems. Like, everyone else solves their mana problems for cheaper. Like, all mages solve it by 880 gold. Anyway. Because if you really had mana problems, you'd have tier. What does this do? 100 more gold, 5 more damage. Oh, I see what they're doing. Yeah. A few recipes in the game, like Black Cleaver, used to be mana immune, are way too pricey. And the recipe... I like how it's like, we don't like high recipe costs. And I look up and it's like, what the fuck? Why? And they introduce an item that... Yeah, so this item sucks. This item sucks balls now. Holy crap. But yeah, it's pretty troll. It's a pretty troll item, I feel. Oh well. It's like, why? 1,000 gold recipe cost. There you go. And there's Mirror Man. But I don't play AD carry. Like, I already knew the old Essence Reaver was garbage because the concept of spending over 2k gold to solve a mana problem. Like, at least Athene's has Chalice built into it, so you can use that early game when you actually need the spam spells. But the fact that there's no little item of Reaver, like, there's no small item that gives you mana. Sunfire Cape. Okay, that's great. Exhaust, yeah, visibility. I saw it. It actually looks really good. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody cares. Wait. Then there's some intro bots. I think that's it. Except, wait. Dun dun. Too bad no one plays these champions. He looks actually really badass. It looks like this is really good art. Really fucking good. But I don't play these champions. They look so badass, but I don't play them. Look at them. Look at them. But I don't play them. I'll probably play one game of both these guys. I'm like, well, I had my fun with the skin, but it's time to put you back into the vault. Oh my god, look at these skins. They're so badass. So goddamn badass. And that's it. Alright, let's play some solo queue. That is it. Holy crap. That was a short patch.